Hey everybody, my name's Matt, and welcome to Music Mondays with Matt and Allison. I am not Allison, but Allison is the one who's doing the video.
Hello.
So she'll be here next week to talk a little bit about another instrument, but today we are going to be learning about the ukulele. I'm going to show you a few different chords, some simple chords to play, and also how to use those chords in a few easy songs. So let's get into it. So the ukulele is an instrument that looks a little bit like a guitar. It has a long neck here. It has these pegs up at the top that control the tuning of the strings. And the strings are here from the neck all the way down to the body, and they're connected here on the bridge. So we have the neck, the head, the tuning pegs, the body, and the bridge. And what makes the sound are the strings. So in order to make sound with a ukulele, all you have to do is take your finger and you just do this. That sounds pretty good. But if you want to make a chord, what you need to do is use your other hand on the neck to push down the strings so that they touch these pieces of metal here called frets. That is what changes the sound of each string. So for example, I'll take my finger here and I'm going to pluck just the bottom string while, well, let's just start with open. So that makes a sound that's a little bit lower. Now I'm going to put my finger here, I'll take my other finger, I'm going to put it all the way up at the top here, close to the body. Oh yeah! That makes a sound that's much higher. And if I slide my finger from the bottom of the neck all the way up to the top near the body, it will make a sound that goes from low all the way to high. Let's try it. And if you want to make a sound that's kind of like a laser, you can slide it from the top all the way to the bottom really quickly, and it sounds like this. It sounds a little bit like one of those laser blasters in Star Wars or Star Trek. Okay, so now that we know how to make some sound with the ukulele by strumming it, and we know how to change the sound by putting our fingers up on the neck, I'm going to teach you how to make some chords that can help you play some songs. And a chord is just a fancy word that means a collection of I edit that part out. A chord is just a fancy way of saying a collection of notes that sound really good together. So, for the first chord that I'm going to show you, it's really easy. All you need is just one finger. So you take this finger, and actually I'm going to use my middle finger here, and I'm going to put my middle finger, I'm going to count up from 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to put my middle finger on the 3rd fret. So in the 3rd space in between the frets there. And then I'm going to take my other hand and I'm going to use my first finger and my thumb. I'm going to put them together to make kind of like a V. And I'm going to play all of the strings. And it's going to sound like this. That sounds pretty good. Notice how all of the strings sort of sound like they're going together to make one nice sound. Yeah. And the chords have names. And so most of the chords have letter names, or all the chords have letter names. And this chord with our one finger on the 3rd fret there, that chord is called C, the C chord. So let's try it again. Maybe I'll just do a little strumming pattern here. Okay, so that is the C chord. And that's the first chord that we're going to learn today. So the next one that we're going to learn is called the D chord, or just D. And for that one, we're going to need 3 fingers here. And we can take our first finger, our index finger, and we're going to put that one on the bottom string on 2nd fret. So the bottom string on 2nd fret. we're going to take our middle finger and we're going to put it in the same fret, so 2nd fret, on the 2nd string from the bottom. And we're going to take our ring finger, or our 3rd finger there, and we're going to put it in that same fret. Oh, it's getting crowded in there. There we go. We're going to squeeze them all in to this 2nd fret, so they're all in there. So all 3 of my fingers are in fret number 2. And I'm going to take my index finger and my thumb in a V, and we're going to try strumming that and see how that sounds. Nice. There we go. So that's D. And you can try playing C to D, the C chord going into the D chord. So here we go. Finger on the bottom here on fret 3, our C chord, and then go into D. Those chords sound pretty good together, don't they? Almost sounds like a song. And that's a good trick. Once you've kind of mastered where the fingers go there, you can try changing back from one chord to the other. And that helps your fingers mostly know where to go, because sometimes even you make mistakes. And that one's supposed to go up there. Okay, there's one more chord that I'm going to share with you today. And that chord, we're going to go A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It's going to be the G chord that we're going to play together. And the reason why I'm sharing with you these 3 chords, C, D, and G, is because lots and lots of songs use those 3 chords. They go together really well. So if you can play these chords, then you'll be able to play a lot of different songs that are on the radio, or songs that you hear on Spotify, or wherever you hear songs. So these are 3 songs that are really good, or 3 chords that are really good to know. So this chord, you're going to need, again, 3 fingers, your index finger, your middle finger, and your ring finger. And we're going to stay on fret number 2. We're going to put them on different strings here. So first we're going to take our index finger, and we're going to put it on the 2nd string from the top here. Just like that. And then we're going to take our middle finger, and we're going to keep it in that 2nd fret, but we're going to put it on the bottom string. And you can already hear that those sound pretty good together, those two notes. And then we're going to use our ring finger, and that one's not going to go on fret 2. It's going to go in fret 3. It's going to go in fret 3. And that actually feels pretty good because it's not crowding in like it was on the D chord. So let's play all these 3 strings together. Nice. Yeah, that's a really good sounding chord. And you can even play that bottom one too. And you can hear how well those notes go together. So let's try practicing strumming with the G chord. Okay, so now that you know these 3 chords, C, G, and D, you can put those together to make songs. And a lot of the songs that you probably know just use those 3 chords. So I'm going to give you a little example of one song that you definitely know because everybody learns this song when they're a kid, and one song that you definitely know because it's a Christmas song, and one song that I made up way a long time ago that uses those 3 chords. All of them do. Here we go. So this one's going to go G, C, D. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. So that's one. That's just G, D, G, C. So you can put them together in different orders, and that way you can make different songs. This other one, you might know this one. Here we go. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey! Jingle bells, jingle all the way. C chord. Oh, what fun G chord is to ride in a D chord to finish it back to G chord. So that's another one that just uses those 3 chords. And then you can also make up your own song, just like I did with this one. Here we go. I've got a G chord, ba-dum-bum. It's gonna eat the D, C chord. got a G chord and it's gonna eat the G chord. And then the lyrics go like this. I got a manatee, ba-dum-bum. It's gonna eat the plant, ba-dum-bum. I got a manatee, it's gonna eat the plant off the back of me. Awesome. So that one was just G, C, G, E. And now that you know those 3 chords, you can play lots of different types of songs. See if you can look up some songs that just use those 3. For Musical Mondays, my name's Matt, and I'll see you again next week.